Welcome back to Easy Insights for Beginners. I'm Sarah, and as always, I'm here with the man who still thinks a diversified portfolio means having both blue and black pens. Mike, how are you?
Hey, those pens have served me well. I'm doing great, Sarah. I actually went to that new coffee shop you recommended. The coffee was amazing, but the barista looked at me like I just asked him to solve a complex calculus problem.
Oh no, the one with the intense stare? I know exactly who you mean. It's funny how that initial impression can just completely color your experience, isn't it?
Totally. My brain immediately went into, is this guy a threat? Should I run? Mode? It's ridiculous, but it's a real feeling.
Well, you've just created the perfect segue into our topic today. We're talking about something a little different, but incredibly relevant to our financial lives. The official title is How to Understand Why Your Brain Thinks a Stranger's Face is a Threat. We're going to explore that primal gut reaction we have to people we don't know and how it secretly influences our money decisions.
I love this. It's that intersection of psychology and finance that we rarely talk about. And hey, if you're enjoying these kinds of topics, do us a quick favor and hit that subscribe button. It helps us a ton and you won't miss an episode. Okay, let's dive in. We've got a great question to start us off.
We do. This one comes from Alex in Ohio. Alex writes, I'm trying to find a financial advisor, but every time I meet one, I feel incredibly intimidated and skeptical. I just get a vibe and can't seem to trust them, even if they have great credentials. Is something wrong with me?
Oh, Alex, nothing is wrong with you. That is such a common feeling. Your brain is doing exactly what it's designed to do, protect you from potential threats. And a stranger asking you to trust them with your life savings? That's a huge potential threat in your brain's ancient wiring.
That's so true. It reminds me of the first time I ever met with an advisor. I was maybe 25 and I walked into this big fancy office. The advisor was this older guy in a perfectly tailored suit. He was perfectly nice, but my brain was just screaming danger the whole time. I felt like he could see right through my tiny bank account and was judging me. I couldn't focus on a word he said because my internal alarm was just blaring.
Exactly. It's not about logic at that point. It's about a primal emotional response. Your brain is scanning their face, their body language, the environment, all for cues of safety or danger. It's a survival mechanism that dates back thousands of years, long before retirement accounts were a thing.
So what we're really talking about is our lizard brain making financial decisions. That's a little terrifying.
It can be, but understanding it is the first step to managing it. Let's get into the why a bit more. We have another question here from Priya in London. She asks, what about the opposite problem? I see these super charismatic finance influencers on social media, and they seem so trustworthy and friendly. I find myself wanting to invest in whatever they're pushing, even when I know it's risky. Why does my brain trust them so easily?
The other side of the coin. That's a fantastic question, Priya. It's the same brain mechanism, just flipped. Instead of seeing a threat, your brain is seeing cues that it interprets as part of my tribe. They're smiling, they're using relatable language, they seem confident and successful. Your brain latches onto that and says, this person is safe. They're like me. They have knowledge that will help our tribe survive and prosper.
You know what? I almost fell for that a couple of years ago during that whole meme stock craze. There was this one guy on YouTube and he was just so compelling. He was funny, energetic, and he made it all sound so simple, so foolproof. I remember being this close to dumping a significant amount of money into a stock I knew, logically, was a complete gamble. My logical brain was waving a tiny red flag, but my emotional brain was at a rock concert, just loving the show.
What stopped you?
Honestly, I forced myself to wait 24 hours. I call it a decision quarantine. I shut off the video, didn't look at the stock price, and just let my emotional brain calm down. The next day, the hype had worn off, and I could look at the actual numbers. And the numbers were not good. The face of the investment was a charismatic guru, but the fundamentals were a house of cards. It was a huge lesson for me.
That's such a brilliant and practical tip, Mike. The decision quarantine. It gives your prefrontal cortex, the logical planning part of your brain, a chance to catch up with the amygdala, which is the fast-acting emotional part. It's about creating space between the emotional reaction and the financial action.
Exactly. So for Alex in Ohio, who feels instant distrust, the strategy is to acknowledge the feeling. Okay, my brain is flagging this as a threat. And then consciously shift to a data gathering mode. Create a checklist. What are their qualifications? Are they a fiduciary? What are their fees? Let the data, not the vibe, lead the way.
And for Priya in London, it's the same principle. Acknowledge the feeling, wow, I really like and trust this person, and then implement that 24-hour quarantine. Step away from the charismatic face and dig into the boring, unsexy data behind the investment. It's about separating the messenger from the message.
We have one more question that ties this all together perfectly. This is from Carlos in Brazil. He asks, how does this apply to investing in a company based on its CEO? I see a CEO who is a visionary and I want to invest, but then I see one who seems boring and I'm not interested, even if the company is solid. Am I being irrational?
Carlos, you are being perfectly, predictably human. The CEO is the ultimate face of the company. We project all our hopes and fears onto them. A charismatic, visionary CEO can make a company feel exciting and full of potential, even if the financials are shaky. Think of the cult of personality around some famous tech founders.
Oh, absolutely. And a boring, steady CEO might be running an incredibly profitable, stable company, but our brain doesn't get that same jolt of excitement. It doesn't trigger that follow-the-leader instinct. The key is to remember you're not investing in the person. You're investing in the business. The business's health, its balance sheet, its market position, that's what matters in the long run.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, from intimidating advisors to charismatic YouTubers. I think the biggest insight for me, the thing we should all really take away, is that this initial gut reaction to a person's face, whether it's trust or threat, is completely normal. It's not a flaw, it's a feature of our ancient brain.
That's the most important point. Don't beat yourself up for feeling it. The goal isn't to eliminate that feeling, but to recognize it and not let it be the sole driver of your decisions. It's about building a system to check your gut.
Right. And that system can be as simple as your decision quarantine rule, Mike. Creating that buffer of time is probably the single most effective strategy. It lets the emotional storm pass so your logical brain can actually do its job. It's about letting the data have the final say, not the first impression.
And finally, I think it's about separating the person from the product. Whether it's a financial advisor, a CEO, or an online influencer, their personality is not the investment. The investment is the strategy, the company, the asset. You have to learn to analyze one without being blinded by the other.
So true. The real secret to smart financial decisions isn't about having a better gut instinct than everyone else. It's about knowing when not to trust your gut at all.
Wow, that's a powerful way to put it. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in and for all your amazing questions. We hope this gives you a new lens through which to view your own financial psychology.
It was a fun one. Remember, you're not irrational, you're human. Be kind to your brain, but be smart with your money. Join us next week when we'll be talking about the hidden costs of convenience. Is your delivery app habit draining your wallet? You won't want to miss it. Have a great week, everyone.
Bye for now.